What's good, everybody? It's me, James Veck, back with another V&V episode on the January transfer market. Now, I mentioned previously the difficulty of actually making signings in January, let alone some quality players. But like I said, if certain players were to become available, which after doing a bit of research could potentially happen, these would be the targets I would go for. I'm going to start with a position that Chelsea do seem to be struggling in at the moment, and that's the centre forward striker position. Now, Chelsea seem to be crying out for a striker that can score goals and do so on a consistent basis. Giroud kind of stepped up a little bit, but he is obviously gone out with an injury fairly recently and is also not really regarded as a world-class centre-forward. On the other hand, we have Alvaro Morata, who just seems completely short of confidence at the moment. Can't seem to find a net all that too often. He finds himself offside on quite a regular basis, as well as pointed out in the last episode. Now, you look at the Chelsea side from over the years, you can go back as far as Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Heidegger Johnson, Gianfranco Zola, Didier Drogba, and even more recently Diego Costa. Now, they've always seemed to have that front man, whether it's big or small, that seems to have the ability to score goals on a regular basis. Now, they've made other signings in the past as well. Crespo and Shevchenko haven't actually gone on to do that well in the league, but they were huge statement signings at the time. Now, I do feel that it is another one of those occasions where Chelsea really need to lay down a marker and sign a world-class centre-forward in order for them to keep touch with the Cities and the Liverpools at the top of the league at the moment. Now, my first pick in the strike position would be Mauro Icardi. Currently plays for Inter Milan and is just 25 years old. Now, he's not going to come cheap. You're probably looking at around 90 to 100 million pounds if Chelsea were to get him. They have been linked with him previously, so it's not too out of the blue. He's quite a short player, 5'9" tall, and very low centre of gravity. He's widely regarded as one of the most lethal finishers in the top 5 leagues in Europe at the moment. Now, the stats actually do back this up as well. He's played 204 games for Inter Milan and has actually scored 120 goals and 25 assists on these occasions. So you can see how prolific he is. Last season, he actually scored 29 goals in 34 Serie A appearances, which puts him right up there in the top charts alongside your Ronaldos, your Messis, Lewandowskis, Harry Kanes, Salahs, etc. Now, he's already scored 9 goals in 15 league games this season. He's missed a few games due to injury, obviously coming back, been on the bench a couple of times as well, and he's still proven that he can do it this season as well as last. The fact that he's very, very clinical, add to that, he's got really, really good pace as well. He runs at defenders. His style of play, obviously being very low centre of gravity, means that he would potentially fit in quite well with the likes of Eden Hazard, Willian, Pedro, Kante, etc. in the Chelsea side. We know Chelsea aren't short on money either, and this is the type of signing, as I said, that they would need to make, ensure that they don't lose pace with the big boys at the top as well. That would be my choice for the striker position. Secondly, I would go for a centre-half. Now, obviously, Rudiger has been very, very good this season, but alongside him, they've sort of changed a little bit. David Luiz is usually the one that's got the nod next to him. Now, they've got obviously Azpilicueta, who can play there, Marcos Alonso on the left, so they're quite strong in those areas. But David Luiz, as we know, can be prone to a little bit of a mistake from time to time, and I don't see him as the long-term solution next to Rudiger. My choice, as I said, would be Diego Godin in this position. Now, some might disagree with this, or may even make the case that perhaps he doesn't have the pace for the Premier League. He is 32 years old, so age isn't on his side either. Would you already know how good this man is, though? He's been an absolute rock for Atletico Madrid, and he was immense at the World Cup as well. He isn't the quickest, of course, but it's the reading of the game that matters, and that's where he makes up for it. He's very strong, aggressive, organised, and he's superb in the air. Now, he would bring a huge deal of experience to the Chelsea side, and you could argue that he still has maybe 2 or 3 years to offer at the highest level. And we know in the past as well that Chelsea have been known to pick players up from Atletico, with Felipe Luis and Diego Costa as well, just to name a few. So should they manage to get Diego Godin from Atletico, it wouldn't be of a huge surprise to me. With his age as well, as I've said, you're probably looking at around about 30 million, or around about that price would be what you'd expect to pay for Godin. So yes, you might not get too many years out of him, but for the quality that he offers, I think that would be very good value for money. Now, the third and final pick for Chelsea would be in the attacking area of the pitch. Someone who also plays in the Premier League, I've gone for Wilfried Zaha. Now, they've signed Christian Pulisic, as we know, for around, I think it was £57 million, and there's been a few question marks that's kind of split opinion a little bit. With Eden Hazard potentially leaving at the end of the season, is he going to leave a very large hole in the front three that Chelsea have? Now, since Zaha's returned to Crystal Palace, he has been the main man for a number of seasons. He's quickly become the club's best player. Obviously, we know that he's lightning quick, and he can actually make pretty much anything that he wants to happen with the ball at his feet. So we can't really question his ability when he's got the ball. He regularly creates chances for Crystal Palace. this, often getting penalties conceded, and the only question remains is, can he really do it at a bigger club? I believe he can. With his time at United, as he was very, very young, and he's changed a lot since then, I believe he has matured, and think that with the better players around him, he could thrive in a top side. And we know how wasteful Crystal Palace have been this season. You put Zaha in a forward line with perhaps you're looking at Giroud or Hazard, Willian, Pedro, as I mentioned, maybe even McCarty as well. There'll be no end the amount of chances that they would create. I think if you put Wilfried Zaha in a team of that quality, then he would absolutely thrive. And I think it is his time that he does make a move onto maybe a big six side in the Premier League. We've mentioned this in previous episodes as well, so it wouldn't surprise me should he make the move, whether it be January or in the summer. Now, he's only got 3 goals and 3 assists so far this season. So some would maybe argue that he's not the most prolific, but as I've said, the side that he's playing in does lack a little bit of quality, and with the better players around him, he could really flourish. So just to recap, we've gone for Mauro Icardi as the centre forward, and then we've gone for Diego Godin as centre half, and Wilfried Zaha in the front 3 for Chelsea. So those are my thoughts on who Chelsea should sign or could potentially sign in the coming transfer window. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the videos as well. Once again, thanks for listening. See you in the next one.